But how chaotic was it really? And was it enough to disrupt the inaugural festivities? Pat Taney has been with the crowds all day. He's live right outside the National Mall. Pat, what's happening right now?
Well, I can tell you the area we're in, Brett, very calm. We are in what is known as the red zone. It is heavily fortified and very secure. In fact, just about a half block behind me, you can still see, if you look closely, the inaugural parade taking place down Pennsylvania Avenue. But just a few blocks from here, specifically 6 to 7 blocks, things anything but calm tonight. Demonstrators in the northwest portion of D.C. clashing with police. Several windows of businesses smashed out. Fires set on the street. A limousine set on fire tonight. Police using tear gas to settle things, but police teams, some 3,200 officers from outside of the district who are here this evening, and 5,000 National Guard members still on high alert, worried more violent demonstrations are still to come. You're going to hear from some of those demonstrators and Trump supporters new at 6. But right now, I want to introduce you to the kids with the orange hats. Not just any kids, but local kids here to witness all the city had to offer today. Here on the streets of D.C., you see the signs of support, the signs of opposition. But standing out in this sea of red, white, and blue, these kids with the orange hats. Jack Camilla is one of them.
It's definitely a whole new experience that I have never could have imagined. It's crazy, but I am enjoying it.
He and his classmates all from Newark Middle School, Wayne County, standing out not just for those hats. You see, amidst the noise, they are silent. None of them here to voice their opinions, take part in any support rally or protest. They are just here to witness, to learn.
It's great. We're having a great time. Kids are excited. I'm excited. So far, it's been a great trip.
Newark Middle School teacher Scott Briggs. And what are you hoping the kids take home from all of this?
Well, some experience. I mean, they saw some protesting. They saw some different things. And, you know, it's something they're not going to learn in school today.
An up-close and personal look at history. The kids with the orange hats heading back home with an experience of a lifetime.
It's been eye-opening for them and for me as well. Great group of kids. They're really well behaved, and we're proud of them.
What an experience for 13 and 14-year-olds. All of it real politics in action, real pomp and circumstance, and real raw emotion. Emotion that continues to run high here on the streets of D.C. this evening. More on those riots in a portion of the city and those protesters coming up. All new at 6. For now, we are live in D.C. Pat Taney, News 10 NBC.
We start with a look at what you did not see if you watch the inauguration at home, the crowds and the protesters in Washington. Pat Taney is live there. And Pat, how is it looking now?
Looking pretty good where we are right now, Brett, about a half block away from that inaugural parade, which, by the way, is still going on. That was supposed to wrap up at 5 o'clock, but those marching bands still making their way down Pennsylvania Avenue. Still a lot of tensions here in the city, hours after the swearing in of President Donald Trump. Today has been loud. Streets filled with Trump supporters. There were protesters clashing with police, windows smashed, tear gas used. There were several arrests. Alpacas, yes, really, and this too. USA! But believe it or not, this was not a typical day in D.C. A lot of disappointed Trump fans, though, like Jamal Segatal, originally from Batavia, who did not make it onto the National Mall to see the inauguration. What happened?
Basically, when I got down here, just with the amount of people and Trump supporters and protesters, there was no way I could get in.
Couldn't get in because of this. Thousands of Trump supporters, thousands of protesters, all jamming entry points. Security checkpoints just could not keep up. Michael Brewster from Rochester, not a Trump fan.
I'm more of a Bernie supporter, so
okay. Yeah. But was hoping to get onto the mall to voice his concerns. What are your fears for the next 4 years?
Mostly just that we're not going to be heard as a group of people, like the lower class. I'm really worried that the swamp is getting more polluted, frankly.
Tomorrow he'll get that chance. People like him taking part in a different event, also here at the National Mall, the Women's March on Washington, the next big thing here, capping off what has already been a whirlwind week in the nation's capital. And tomorrow morning, we will be here for that march on Washington. As for the new president, Donald Trump, we are told he is right now in the White House getting ready to attend several inaugural balls. Just 3, though. In the past, presidents on average attend about 5 to 10, but we are told President Trump will be retiring early to spend his first night in the White House, his home, for the next 4 years. We are live in D.C. Pat Taney, News 10 NBC.
And Rochester was definitely represented in Washington, D.C. today. Several men and women took part in today's historic march. Pat Taney has been with them throughout the day, and he joins us now live. Pat, how's it going?
Hey, Amanda, good evening to you and folks at home. I can tell you things wrapping up here slowly but surely in Washington, D.C., but they've been wrapping up for a good 2 hours now. That's how big this event was. You can see some of the supporters who took part in this rally today, the last of them really making their way to Union Station where we are right now. They're going to board trains and buses to go back home. But as you mentioned, this was a huge event, a star-studded event, and one with a local twist. One day after Trump hit the National Mall, fight like a girl. Women, men, girls, boys showing up in force. Kelly Battaglia from Penfield is among them. What frightens you the most about a Trump administration?
Women's health care and health care in general.
Marching with Kelly, individuals representing different causes and backgrounds.
Gay rights, different religions, ethnicities, and races.
No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA!
All of them echoing one statement.
I'm very concerned about the recent changes that have come along in our government. I do not feel represented by our new government.
U.S. Congressman Paul Tonko, a New York Democrat.
I was at the inauguration yesterday.
Confident it will. Today's massive crowds, he says, cannot be ignored.
Well, I think when you start seeing crowds like this, not only in this location, but across the country, coming out to make a statement, you have to take heed.
So how about Trump supporters? Their thoughts on the march? I didn't see any here today, but I asked several about it yesterday, including veteran Jay Smith.
It's great. Everybody's speaking their mind. We love that. That's why I serve.
It's a democracy, so we're here with our freedom of speech to say, President Trump, listen, because we're not going to tolerate it.
So strong words for the new president, Donald Trump, here in Washington, D.C. today. The question, will this momentum continue? The spirit we saw here today, the organization, supporters I talked with today, those who were taking part in this rally say, indeed it will. This is just the beginning, they say. They are ready to fight for the next 4 years. We are live in Washington, D.C. tonight. Pat Taney, News 10 NBC.